Hey, what's up everyone? Tedrick85 here. And I just wanted to make this video because there's been something that's been on my mind lately that I just have to get off my chest, and quite frankly it's been pretty much bothering me lately. Now, anyone that's familiar with me at all knows that I'm a huge fan of the Avatar Last Airbender series. And knowing that, one should also probably assume that I'm not a real big fan of the movie at all. Even if you don't, in my honest opinion, even if you didn't watch the series, I just still don't think that many people would think it was a good movie anyway. I mean, the storytelling wasn't really that great. The characters were not interesting. And even some of the action in it was just meh at best. And especially if you're a fan of the series, it felt like a slap in the face to all the fans out there that did enjoy the cartoon series so much. Now, the movie's director, M. Night Shyamalan, has defended this movie in the past, which should be no surprise since it is his movie. But a couple of days ago, he released a statement which, quite frankly, has my head scratching and kind of has me upset a little bit. Because I think the comment and statement that he made pretty much illustrates exactly what not only what went wrong with the movie, but what he got wrong about not only his movie but the entire series in general. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about his statement today that he made, and I'm gonna break up each statement into three parts, and I'm gonna analyze each of what he said in each part of his statement. Now, he starts off by saying, "My child was 9 years old, so you could make it one of two ways. You could make it for that same audience, which is what I did for 9 and 10-year-olds, or you could do the Transformers version and have Megan Fox. I didn't do that. That would have felt like, well, I'm going to make a movie about a kid's show that my 10-year-old is watching and not make it for her. I make it for my guy friends. That felt like a betrayal of the innocence of the piece. In retrospect, is it too young to go out? It's like what your intention is versus what they want it to be." First off, I have to say that this opening statement right here pretty much illustrates exactly what M. Night Shyamalan's biggest mistake was when making this movie, is that he completely missed the target audience that this movie was intended for. And I'm gonna quote Janet Varney here when she was talking about the Legend Core video game, where she goes, "It's hard for me to consider it a kids show. I just don't feel that way. I think it's an everybody show." And that's pretty much a sentiment of the fan base. And if he would have known exactly the fan base that was involved with the Avatar: Last Airbender series, he would see that it's not just 9 to 10-year-olds that enjoy the series, that it's also grown-ups as well. It's all the age groups, it's not just 9 and 10-year-olds. And for him to make a statement saying, well, it's what I did for 9 and 10-year-olds, well, you know, that's not, to me, that kind of sounds like an excuse, because even Break, when they made this show, when they made the cartoon series, they made a compelling story with complex characters that had a little bit of action, romance, comedy, drama. It had a little bit of everything in it for everybody, not just for 9 to 10-year-olds, but for grown-ups, without sounding too redundant. But yeah, you didn't see Brian Konietzko or Michael DiMartino dumb it down or anything to bring it down to the level of a small kid. Nor did you see them use sex appeal or anything like that. So I think that opening statement right there pretty much shows that M. Night Shyamalan completely missed the plot of who this movie was supposed to be about. Yeah, the cartoon series was rated Y7, but at the same time, though, it's not just exclusive to that demographic, because a lot of adults love the series too and love the Legend of Korra series too. So to me, I just feel like using the 9 to 10-year-old demographic is just an excuse to saying, "Oh well, this movie underperformed because of that." So but anyway, I'm gonna continue his statement, and then he goes by saying, "Clearly, 10-year-olds. I go out and 10-year-olds are like, that's my favorite show. I love that movie. Parents come up to me and go, they watched The Last Airbender 74 times. Those kids, it's for them. It was for them to talk about mysticism and Eastern philosophies through a 10-year-old's vernacular." Now, To me, this is just really sad on his part because, anybody can go out and say, "Oh, I like this, I like that." Much as what I could do right now is to get people right now saying how much they hated this movie like me. But as easily as I could do that, as easily for him for saying that he met people, kids and parents that watched this movie, that's a little thing that we like to call hearsay. It's not evidence to use as a concrete argument to support something. Because like I just said, anybody can say something, but it doesn't really mean that it's true. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit unsettled about his terminology, a 10-year-old's vernacular. Like, what exactly is that supposed to mean? Is that supposed to be code for something? Like, to me, this kind of puts me in the feeling that he has a very low opinion of kids. It's almost like he acts like kids, 10-year-olds and 9-year-olds don't know what they want. And I find that extremely insulting because kids do know what they want. They know what cartoons they want to watch. They know what movies to like. And you could adapt this to everyday life. They know what clothes they like. They know what food they like. It's just very insulting to imply that 9 and 10-year-olds don't know what they want. And it's especially insulting saying, well, I spoke to the adults and saying that their kids liked it. Well, if a movie was intended for 9 to 10-year-olds like he said it was, why didn't he just ask the kids and not the adults? So I just that just struck a really, really bad note with me, and so apparently under M. Night Shyamalan's eyes, for all you parents out there that have 9 to 10-year-olds, apparently they don't know what they want, so you're pretty much gonna have to be the spokesperson for them and let them know what they want because apparently they're idiots and don't know what they want. But and he's also taught about Eastern philosophy and that, and not everything in Avatar: Last Airbender is based on Eastern philosophy. The big example right off the bat is the water tribes. They're based off the Native Americans and in particular the Eskimos. And the last time I checked, Eskimos up in North America have nothing to do with Eastern Asia. So, I'm not even going to get into how he got the races wrong in the movie and that. That's a completely different discussion. But yeah, it just baffles me that not only did he come up with such a ridiculous opening statement like that, but he goes on and saying, "Oh, I spoke to these people, and they're like, oh, they like this and that." And I think it's pretty funny. He used the exact number 74 times. Like, I'm curious to know what the significance of the number 74 is, but anyways, I'm gonna get to the third and final part of the statement, which quite frankly pisses me off. And so he goes, so these are business propositions, which are very little interest to me of like, hey, the business proposition is get Megan Fox to be, you should age it till it's that. That wasn't the source material. Oh, that's rich coming from I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? Whereas also like Transformers, it's really fascinating because it's valid for Transformers. You know why it's valid? Because it's the little boys that were playing with them are grown up now. They're the ones who wanted to see Megan Fox. That's absolutely appropriate, you know what I mean? Whoa, 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 whoa. This is the second time in a statement that he mentioned Megan Fox. What is his campy fixation with Megan Fox? No one else brought up Megan Fox at all when anybody brings up the critique of this movie. So why is he bringing up Megan Fox? And I'm not sure if he's aware of this, but Megan Fox isn't exactly the most favorable viewed upon actress out there right now, which any fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise should tell you that right now. And it's also interesting that he brings up Transformers too, because coincidentally, the actress that plays Katara in the last Airbender movie was also in the recent Transformers movie Age of Extinction. And I'm also not sure if he's aware of this, but the latest Transformers movie wasn't all that well received as comparison to the first three. So it's just weird. This whole Megan Fox, it's almost like he's trying to use her as a scapegoat to why the movie failed. You're like, oh well, I should put Megan Fox in there. And the fact that he's saying that the little boys that grew up with Transformers and playing with them, that are grown up to watch these movies, that are just watching it just solely because of Megan Fox. I mean, is he really that arrogant that he actually thinks he knows why people watch these movies? That's just utter BS. I love how he thinks that he knows exactly why people want to watch these movies, and based on how well the last Airbender movie was received, or lack thereof, I should say, then he really should know that he really is out of touch with the American public, because and I think this is another slap in the face of the Avatar: Last Airbender fan base too, because he's pretty much insinuating to them, well, you're not going to watch my movie unless we get a good looking girl in here, it's just word to M. Night Shyamalan, fans don't want special effects or explosions or even hot-looking people in that. They just wanted a movie that was faithful to the source material. You can't just go in there and just make a movie based on what you want and try to make excuses like, well, oh, I should have made it like this movie, though people watch it. No. Avatar fans wanted to see an Avatar movie based on the series, or at least kept faithful to the series. And they really are not in the mood for your excuses. And speaking of source material, I kind of chuckled when he said it about the source material, but if there's the last person that should talk about that, it's him, because he completely did not follow the essence of the show, There's a reason why firebenders don't need an outside source to bend. There's a reason why Blake dedicated an entire episode to Kyoshi warriors. There's a reason why Aang and the Water Spirit merged into Koizilla at the Book 1 finale. Heck, there's even a reason why Zuko's hair is the way it was in the first season. Yet they had him with a full head of hair in the movie, which I'm still trying to scratch my head about that. And folks, I totally understand that this movie is an adaptation of the TV show, and that there would be some differences. But when you have a series that has a strong fan base like this, you have to make sure that the vision that the creators of the show had in mind for it isn't conflicting with your own views. And it's quite clear from watching the last Airbender movie that Shyamalan just did not respect the source material. And this isn't necessarily me being upset so much because of how unfaithful the movie was, unfaithful it was to the series. This is me being upset because Shyamalan refuses to acknowledge that him making this movie was a big mistake. And instead of being gracious and owning up to the fact that this wasn't one of his best projects, he has adopted this attitude that, oh, this movie didn't bomb because of anything I did, it's just everyone else that doesn't get it. Here's the thing. We do get it. We do understand that you have no understanding of the source material. And for the record, guys, I'm not against a live-action Avatar movie. In fact, I think it would be pretty awesome as long as the right people are involved. And that includes a director that respects the source material and writers that can tell a story without making all the characters into bland cardboard cutouts like Shyamalan had in that last Airbender movie. Clearly, M. Night Shyamalan was not cut out to make this film. And as far as I'm concerned, his career is over. And it's sad because I really did like the guy, and I'll remember him for giving us good movies such as The Sixth Sense, Signs, and even The Village. But yes, folks, The Village is a good movie. I don't know why that movie gets such bad reviews, but come on, guys, it's not that bad. but as far as anything else he might be doing, I won't even give it the time of day. If he's sitting here and still making excuses for a movie that was terrible, and everybody, including the fans and movie critics alike, saying that this movie was bad, and he's constantly making excuse after excuse after excuse for it, then I'm sorry, this guy's a hopeless cause. And that's putting it nicely, but yeah, there's a new show that's on right now called Wayward Pines. I think it's on Fox or something like that. And I was watching commercials for it, and to me it looked really dull and uninteresting. And I had just found out not too long ago that M. Night Shyamalan happens to be involved in this show, and I'm like, no wonder why the show looks so unappealing. Which it does, it looks very, very meh. So needless to say, I'm not going to give that show the time of the day, let alone anything he does, but yeah, I want nothing to do with if there's anything stamped with his name on it, I'm just gonna stay the heck away from it, because even if he believes even half of what he said in this statement, then he's truly lost. And I've never seen such a sorry excuse that he put up with trying to come up with a reason why people don't like his movie. I understand, and he should, of all people, he should understand, not everybody's gonna like what you do in life, you know. I know that, you know, everybody seems to know that, but this guy, you know, he just doesn't get it. You know, he complains about everybody not getting what he was trying to do with the last Airbender movie. He's the one that just doesn't get it, and hopefully he'll have this awakening, say, you know what, I got it wrong in the past, you know, I screwed up. I know how I screwed up, I know what I screwed up on, and I know why I screwed up, and I won't screw up again. Hopefully he has a moment like that, but if he hasn't changed his mind about the last Airbender movie, even after several years after it's released, then I'm afraid this guy's never gonna change. So this guy might be an Oscar winner, but he's clearly past his prime in that, and I'm just frankly sick of his excuses. And I'm not, as far as I'm concerned, like I said before, his career is pretty much over in my eyes. So I'm not ever gonna give him the time of day, especially if he comes up with statements like this, still trying to defend a failed product and a failed movie and that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about this video. I'm really sorry about the ranting and that, but I just had to get this off my chest because I saw this comment on the internet and I'm like, oh dear God, you gotta be kidding me. So I figured I'd give my thoughts about this. You know, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about it. Leave a comment. You know, you can feel free to agree or disagree with me just as long as you're respectful about it. But yeah, I'm not gonna be like him and try to make up excuses in that. What I post in my video is my opinion in that, and everybody's welcome to agree or disagree with me. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And I do feel bad for being ranty and that. I know my voice got kind of screechy there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And I promise I'll have some more cheerful stuff in the future and that. But I just had to get this off my chest. So thank you guys for listening to this and tolerating with me trying to get my thoughts together and ranting about this and that. And hopefully I'll be in a better mood, and I will see you guys again next time.